to license the...
Meep, meep.
Hi everybody, and a warm welcome back to Maple Leaf Matchbox Makeovers. I'm Andrew, and on the bench today is a 1:64 scale Hot Wheels 36 cord. You can see that the paint is well chipped and the wheels are worn out, so I'm going to break it down, strip the paint, prime it, and give it a rich looking two-tone paint job, a wheel swap, and some much needed detailing. I have a vision in my mind of what I want it to be, so pour yourself a cup of coffee and stay tuned to see if I can make it happen. It's only one more week until the first anniversary of my YouTube channel, and I have invited all of my online friends to participate in an all Porsche, all giveaway invitational. I was honestly hoping that 5 or 6 of my friends would jump on board with this, and to date there are 37 talented builders participating, and it's not too late for you to join in either. Never say never. Just comment below about your intention and you're in. Upload date is March 13th, and I can't wait to see all of the Porsches and the creativity that I know is out there. This 1936 cord is based on the real-life 1936 Cord 810 Westchester sedan, and later the Cord 812, which was a luxury automobile produced by the Auburn Automobile Company in 1936 and 1937. It was the first American-designed and built front-wheel drive car with independent front suspension. Power came from a 289 cubic inch Lycoming V8 with 125 horsepower. The semi-automatic 4-speed transmission, which was 3 plus overdrive, extended in front of the engine. This allowed designer Gordon Buehrig to dispense with the driveshaft and the transmission tunnel, and as a result the new car was so low it required no running boards. When introduced in 1936, the entry-level sedan cost US $19.95. If you enjoy this video, I wish you'd give it a thumbs up and like and share, and become a new subscriber to Maple Leaf Matchbox Makeovers. Concurrent with my 1-year YouTube channel anniversary, I was hoping to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I'm very happy to tell you that I achieved that a couple of days ago in advance of the anniversary date. So I want to say thank you very much to all of you for following along this channel and enjoying the journey with me as I have gone from an absolute beginner enthusiast with car number 1 to this number 82 restoration. Sure has been fun, and I've developed some online relationships along the way. I live in Switzerland, and I'm most interested to hear in the comments below where you're watching from, because I'm a world traveler and that is of particular interest to me. So make a point and do that when you leave a respectful comment. Tell me what you like or don't like, or your experience with these great classic cars like the 810 Westchester sedan. On this particular project, I was not in any rush at all, and I was able to leave the car in the paint stripper overnight. Patience is a virtue, and the less rushed you are in this hobby, the better things go, and you saw that the paint came off with no resistance at all. But at the same time, I still take the Dremel tool and the wire wheel attachment and go over the entire casting, as you see me doing right now, to get rid of any kind of residual paint that may not have come off in the stripper. And at this point I'm looking for ugly casting lines, and there are a bunch of them on this car. So the diamond files come into play now, and although it might look abrasive to you, it's taking away these raised lines, and then I might use some medium grit sandpaper after that. And one of the final steps is the 000 fine steel wool, and then this Scotch-Brite tool on the Dremel. I have found that every single one of these steps, giving attention to each one in the bare metal detail stage, is invaluable in achieving a really beautiful final paint finish. The last step before the paint booth is a degreasing, and I use the same product that I use on my real car, and it just takes away any oils and fingerprints. A shot of standard metal primer from the hardware store, and this is the two-tone look that I'm going for. Now, I've actually experimented, and this is the second time I painted this car because the first one just didn't come out to my liking with a different color combination. And so I've switched from silver to a metallic gold on this attempt. And this is the base coat that I'm laying down on the top and carefully on the inside as well, and on the detachable fenders. Now, once again, patience is key, and I leave that for the weekend. I just went away up into the mountains, and I came back. It has also been clear coated once, which I have found is an essential step before I do any masking and taping, because when this tape comes off after the second paint application, the second color, oh, it's devastating if it lifts any of the base coat paint off. So a good curing under my LED lights and one clear coat on the metallic gold is going to ensure, I hope, victory. And I'll spend just a minute here letting you watch the detail tape job. I'm using Tamiya Hobby masking tape. It's very thin, and the stickiness content here is not as high as painter's tape or regular masking tape. So once again, it's a little bit safer when it comes time for unmasking. And it's a little more malleable as well, so you can turn a corner with this. Although with the cord, I'm just using my X-Acto knife with a brand new blade for super sharpness, and I'm cutting along the shot lines of the side doors. The picture on my work mat is actually a 1998 Hot Wheels 36 cord, and it was done in silver and burgundy. That's what I went for first, and it just didn't look as rich to me as gold and burgundy. So that's the genesis of the vision that I got, and I'm morphing that a little bit and making it my own. In this case, I'm just following the lines of the door that are already there. It's quite easy. And a little bit of fingernail technology just along the edges to make sure that's well tamped down. There's my tape job. Wish me luck. We'll go back into the spray booth for the metallic burgundy application. Color number 2 in the two-tone paint job. And this is a light dusting, just a tack coat to make sure that the edges of the masking are filled in, and later I'll go over that with a second coat and then a wet coat. But I don't let it completely cure. This unmasking process, I hope you're holding your breath along with me. So I peel this off. It's about an hour after the paint job, so it's still tacky. Therefore, you don't want to leave any fingerprint on this, and I'm working by holding the hemostats that are pinched onto the front screw, and just the tip of my X-Acto knife is the only thing making contact with the car. And I guess it's a learned art, but I was very successful here. There's no bleeding at all. Isn't that nice? And sometimes metallic paint that are really made for real-sized cars don't look just to scale on these small Hot Wheels, but in this case they did. And now I'm scraping away the top layer of paint to reveal the taillights and the chrome hinges and things like that, which I find is more accurate than trying to paint it on. And you might notice here, as I handled the car at this stage, the cord is nearly devoid of chrome. It had hidden door hinges and a rear hinged hood, and it featured those huge pontoon fenders with hidden headlamps that disappeared into the fenders via dashboard hand cranks. This car was the first and one of the few ever to include this feature. It also featured a concealed fuel filler door and variable speed windshield wipers. Its dashboard included complete instrumentation, a tachometer, and standard radio, which did not become an industry standard offering until well into the 50s. The most famous feature on the Cord was the Coffin Nose, which is a louvered wraparound grille from which its nickname derived, a product of Buehrig's desire not to have a conventional grille. The car caused a sensation at its debut at the New York Auto Show in November 1935. The crowds were so dense, attendees stood on bumpers of nearby cars just to get a look. Cord had rushed to build the 100 cars needed to qualify for the show, promising Christmas delivery, expecting production of 1,000 per month, but the semi-automatic transmission was more troublesome than expected. And December 25th came and went with no cars built. The first production cars were not ready to deliver until February, and they did not reach New York City until April 1936. In all, Cord managed to sell only 1,174 of the new 810s in its first model year, mostly as a result of a myriad of mechanical troubles. Here I'm giving attention to the lights both in the rear and the front, and although it has hideaway lights, I'm trying to model mine after them in the open position with a milky off-white application here. I think it looks pretty good. In pop culture, some people think it's the 36 Cord that Superman is trashing on the cover of Action Comics issue number 1. But that's neither conclusive nor unanimous. That comic book, by the way, is worth $3 million, so if you've got one, hang on to it. All of the detailing has been completed. The car's been clear coated and left to cure for another weekend. I think this one was on the bench for a couple of weeks while I worked on it, on and off. But the few parts involved go back together just as they should, and the tab in the back holds it in place, and one screw in the front, and car number 82 is finito. Let's have a closer look. It's a beautiful paint finish after a couple of coats of clear are applied. I like the green light wheel swap with the gold spokes. There are a few details, front and back, and that was the original designer's intent. And I am very pleased with the two-tone color choice that I went with. I think the gold and the burgundy gives it a very rich appearance. Don't you? I'm quite happy with the Cord 36. It was well worn in the beginning. One color, dark black. Wheels were worn out too, and what a transformation. That one looks like it's ready to go to Buckingham Palace. carrying some royals along for an important banquet. I placed this in a blister pack now with a custom insert card, and it will be hand delivered to my local Goodwill store as a gift for a little boy or girl. Thank you for joining me today, and if you enjoyed this video, again, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, won't you? And I hope that you'll come back real soon and often. The next build is the anniversary Porsche giveaway. It's coffee time.